Hello, 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 and welcome everyone. I hope you're having a great evening. Well, today I have a special treat for all of us. Oh my goodness. So, if you're here for the very first time, please say hello. Let us know where you're from. And if you're watching this in the future, please also say hello. And if you will, do me a favor subscribe, like, and follow, and share this with a sister that you know needs this information because this is going to be good. My name is Vett Jet, and I am the coach for women, for career women and business women that want a better future for them and for their family. So I'm here for you. But we're going to hop right into it. We have a special guest, everyone. It is Miss Toni Jones. Oh my goodness. Toni, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm present and grateful. Thank you for sharing me with your audience.
It is my pleasure. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here. I'll finish the conversation we had started backstage. And I just want to say thank you, Toni, because I
Mhm.
learned about you through Stephanie Perry. I think I was in a work with me session with her. And she, before she went on like the silent part of the work with me, she was like, I listened to Toni Jones and, she gets my mind right. I'm like, Toni Jones, I had never heard of her, right? So I looked you up. I'm like, oh my goodness. One, you're a black woman. I'm like, and two, she's doing affirmations. So I was like, oh my goodness. I said, I have to get to know her. And I think I bought at least two of your albums and I listened to them
Thank
probably
you.
almost every single day.
Thank
My favorite
you.
one is Healing in My Heels. I love that. Oh my goodness. And as a business owner, when you talk in one of the songs you talk about learning how to grow your business, learning your numbers, learning what you do. So I just want to say thank you, Toni, because you get us women together. So thank you so much for what you do. But I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell us some highlights about you, and just tell us like where you're from so we can get to know you.
Okay, well, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. My academic background is psychology. I'm a human behavior neuroscience nerd.
Really,
I was a life coach for several years for women. I had my own wellness company where I helped women heal from workaholism.
really.
And I worked heavily in youth advocacy in
Mm,
Detroit public high schools, helping students and staff reimagine the school experience through projects,
mm,
events, coaching. Loved it. And I don't know, just something hit me at the end of 2018 that I was just like, I want to create something that people can kind of have who I am in their pockets. I felt
really?
like I wanted something that was on the go to
Okay.
help my clients practice wellness on the go. And God gave me affirmation music. I Googled
Really?
affirmation music. That term was not even coined.
Really?
I'm not the first one to put words over music, but to coin the terminology of a genre called affirmation music. I
Mm,
was like, wow, I get to do this.
really?
It was I dropped my first album, Affirmations for the Grown Ass Woman, and during Women's History Month of 2019,
Wow.
and closed down my coaching business by the end of 2020 and started pursuing affirmation music full time. Music was never a passion. It was never an idea or goal. It was never on my vision board. Never
Really?
something I did as a kid and always dreamed of it. It was never. So it's definitely been a paradigm shift for a dream to come true that was never your dream. And
Wow.
so that's a little bit about me.
I love it. Oh my goodness, Tony, that's amazing. So tell me, what inspires you, right? How do you come up with your inspiration for the affirmations?
When I first created the first album, it was about what women needed to hear.
Okay.
One of the things I kept coming across in my coaching business with women
Mm,
was I noticed that women didn't really want to grow. They
okay.
just, it was like I noticed that there was like a continuity of that
Mm,
where it was like I want to earn more money
mm,
and I want to have some relief,
okay.
emotionally and mentally,
Mm,
but it was like anything for the bag.
yeah, exactly.
And I was just like, in 2015, 2016, I was like, yo, this is not what
Mm,
I'm doing is not, it's not mainstream. It's not
okay.
something, mental health, women's
Mhm.
wellness, all of regulate your nervous system. And so I found myself very countercultural to
Okay.
my audience. And
Mm,
so when I noticed that, oh, these women don't want to grow, they just kind of want some relief. I
okay.
was they need something on the go to help
Mm,
them grow every single day,
yes.
heal, and so they can see how they can integrate, a high ambitious lifestyle, high achieving
Mhm.
lifestyle, and integrate that into wellness. You don't have to compromise your well-being. So when I created the first album, I had that in mind.
Okay.
Went to LA for a month. I wrote 9 songs to represent the 9 months it takes a woman to grow a human being, because I
Wow.
wanted these 9 songs to represent, like, as soon as you push play, you can't go back. You gotta grow. And
Oh
it
my
was
God.
kinda like I was seducing everybody, like, "Come to me so
I
you
love it.
I can point you back to you."
Oh my God.
So, but after me going through what I've gone
Mhm.
through in during 2019, by the end of the year, when I released the album in March 2019, by the end of August, I was in the psych ward by trying to take my life, because the
Yeah.
way 2019
Mhm.
just it was horrible.
Yeah.
By the time 2020 happened, I was on the up. Like, I was, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And so 2019 just to completely change my life. At the time, I
Mhm.
thought it was destruction, but it
Okay.
was purposeful. Hindsight,
Mhm.
I look back and I'm like, all of that was so orchestrated, so
Really?
perfect. And so after that, getting out the cycle ward, it meant something for me to
Okay.
redefine how I approach my life. Most of my life, I define myself by how valuable I am to the world. And I
Mm,
know how to do that really well. But
okay.
being valuable to myself, I was lacking that. And
Mm,
so when 2020 came, I was like, I'm going to start approaching my life as though I am my only client, as though I'm
mhm,
the only world that needs to be saved. And so I started experimenting with that. And that's where the I See Me Mantras album came from, with
mm,
Take Spaces, Energy Budget, Healing Is Not My Purpose, I See
yes.
Thoughts, all of those songs. So from that point on, all the other albums I created was not from the perspective of how can I help my clients, help
Okay.
women, help the world. It was, what do I need to hear first?
Wow.
How can I serve myself through this gift? How can I be the main first beneficiary of this, and then share it with the rest of the world? And gladly and gratefully, it's landed for so many people. But
Yes.
I approach my music and the inspiration of music through
Mhm.
my own relationship with myself, from my own journey. What do I need to hear first? What
Wow.
do I need to say to my life first?
Mm.
Share it with everybody else.
That is beautiful, Tony. Oh my goodness. And you said so many powerful things in there. And I'm so glad you were able to go through the healing journey. So, from going where you were, right, in a place where you were putting the pieces back together, right, and then coming out, what really helped you heal from that place, right? Because so many women are broken, and so many women are like on that brink, right? So, what was it that truly helped you heal through that?
I would say, well, it's like, well, it's that it's like not a prescription. It's
Mm,
it's so not, oh, it was ABC, or it was 1, 2, 3. It was a combination of things. But I know one of the things in my approach in my healing journey has been being asking for help,
mm,
and recognizing when I'm at a point where I don't want to help myself, which
mm,
means I'm a engine light, check, engine check light. I got something's going wrong. I need an oil change. Something is not working here.
mm.
So just recognizing that, and then also having community care.
Okay.
When you're in crisis and when you feel broken, it's important to have people that you can connect with, whether it's a therapist, an ally, a friend, having somebody that can hold skillful space for you,
Oh.
having some love, or they care about you, but they don't get triggered by your brokenness. They
Mm,
don't get triggered by your expression of your emotions. They actually have skill space. So usually that's a a spiritually centered woman, um,
Okay.
preferably that has some esoteric wisdoms,
Mm,
um, or a therapist.
okay.
A therapist. My flavor is like a therapist that is certified and licensed, but also has some intelligence around spirituality and wisdom around self mastery practices and things like that. So I like that combination of Western and Eastern in my therapist. But I would say just having that type of community care when
Okay.
you're saying, "Oh, I'm not okay," it's time
Mm,
to get some help, and then asking for help.
okay.
I will always say that part of my healing journey, anytime that I went through that cycle of rebirth and death to myself,
Mm,
it was allowing myself to break.
really?
Allowing myself to break. It wasn't about doing more. It wasn't about, I just remember that it was that combination of asking for help,
Okay.
having skilled help, and then allowing myself to break. And I would say a third ingredient in my healing process was fun and play.
Mm,
Having fun and playing again,
wow.
reconnecting to my nature, my inner child, that was very important to my entire journey.
Okay.
And I would say for women who do feel broken, feel like they're exhausted by the healing process, we have to remember that healing is not becoming something. It is remembering who we already are, who we've always been. And then the healing process is you shedding and releasing all the things that are not who you are. And it
Mm,
hurts and it creates suffering because part of it, those parts of us that we think is us, we've been attached to those things,
okay.
whether they're habits, whether they're practices, whether it's mental thought patterns, and you know what I'm saying, jobs, lovers, marriages, whatever the case may be. The healing in the painful process is only hurting the parts of us that don't want to grow. So we
Mm,
have to really understand that healing is not about becoming something better or achieving this enlightened state of arriving to your ideal self. It is literally letting go of what is not you and remembering who you've always been.
ooh, I love that, Tony. Oh my God. You look again, I mean, you are dropping the gems. Oh my goodness. And
Thank
I
you.
see we have some ladies in the room. I just want to say hello. We have Toni Jones here with us. And if you have questions or comments that you want to ask, please drop them in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Let us know how you're doing. Make sure you say hello. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Tony, because this struck a nerve with me, right? Because lately I've been like so tired. So, but you said play. What did you do for fun and play, Tony, to help you heal?
What did I do? Well, first of all, going into nature,
Mm,
just going into nature and just being with Mother Earth.
mm,
It's in order for me to activate that playful nature, I
okay,
had to go in. For me, I had to go into nature.
okay.
I had to really experience being with myself,
Mm,
natural environment,
okay,
without any technology, without any distractions, without any noise, and just being with the trees, being on the beach, whatever the case may be. I need to be in elements. And
mm,
that opened me up. It opened me up to remember, what did I like as a kid?
mm,
Me up as a kid, or what hobbies could I practice that have not like get involved in that have nothing to do with goals. It has
mm,
nothing to do with self-help or development. It's just about enjoying my beingness
okay,
as is. And
mm,
so I would say for me, what worked was getting into nature so I can be opened up to the clarity to what play and fun looks like. So when
okay.
I went into nature, it opened me up, and then I started to I started roller skating. I
Really?
started painting more.
Okay.
um, I started to just get in my car and just see where I could go, like, find a new restaurant, go thrift shopping,
Wow.
talk to people in the closest near small town.
Mm,
It's just like kind of like getting involved in living my life
mm,
or just enjoyment,
I love
and
that.
then just more things came to my clarity of like, oh, this is fun. This is enjoyable.
Okay.
Going to museums or, you
Mhm.
know, those type of things. I mean, it's something as simple as watching the cartoons I grew up on.
Wow, nice.
It's just like, oh my gosh, it's the nostalgia of it all does something for you.
Yes. Oh, I love that. So then what do you do now? What does a day look like for Toni Jones? With just like healing in your heels, just the freedom, just what's your day like now?
So I will say that, I posted on YouTube a video I did a couple weeks ago, like before New Year's, I believe, I think. And I ended up being on Stephanie Perry's YouTube live, and I unpacked kind of like where I'm at currently, like the forecast of
Mhm.
what's happening with me. So I've been going through some things in 2024, and just to close out the year, I just felt a deep sadness, a deep
Really?
void. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I was just crying so much, and I haven't been that emotional since
Mhm.
probably 2022. And
Okay.
so just to feel those heavy emotions, I really was eating brownies, watching
Really?
Netflix, just sleeping. I was just like, am I depressed? What's happening with me? Like,
Mhm.
mathing for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's about giving myself space to feel my own humanity without shame, judgment, and guilt. No,
Mhm.
number two, I asked myself, what would the version of me who loves myself do for me? What would
Mm.
you do for me in this moment? So from that point, I'm able to activate grace and mercy and
Mhm.
compassion for the parts of me that are growing, that are confused, or that are uncertain, that are afraid, that are still growing and maturing and learning about how to do this thing called life. And
Mm.
so it so much wisdom and
Mm.
growth happens when you let go instead of trying to control your emotions,
Okay.
control your reality, and
Wow.
so on. So for me, right now, it's about keeping it as simple as possible,
Okay.
staying
Oh.
as present as possible. So it's down to daily habits of like, what does Tony want to eat that's gonna light her up?
Really?
To enjoy.
Right.
What foods can I make for myself?
Mhm.
What does indulgence look like? And
Mhm.
satisfaction. Like right now, I'm grounding in cultivating a satisfying life. Like
Really? Mm.
it's like delicious to me,
Mm.
And so for me, it's like it starts with those things, like taking my time with when I'm putting my oils and lotion on instead of rushing. It's
Okay.
taking baths not just for cleansing, but just romanticizing the experience of being in warm water and
Mm.
adding roses to it, lavender. You know what I'm saying? It's about pleasure, indulgence, and satisfaction. So for
Mm.
me, that I'm going dancing tonight. You
Really?
it's just pure dancing with my manager. It's like
Wow.
just really courting myself and
Okay.
my mind and my habits out of doing,
Mm.
perform, become better, better, better,
Okay.
goals, goals, goals. It's like, how do I just relax
Mm.
myself into my life
Mm.
and seeing, am I satisfied? Are there some voids? Is there some emptiness? How can I be the lover of my life?
Mm.
And that's where I'm at right now because there's so many things that did not, so many efforts, so many things I've done,
Mm.
and the outcomes just did not make any sense. And I'm just like, it's very disappointing, and it takes a toll on
Mm.
your heart and your hope and your optimism. And so, you know, loosening my attachment to my agenda, to my goals, to my plans, just loosening my attachment to them has allowed me to have the space to be satisfied with where I'm at
Mm.
and to enjoy and create space for me to enjoy my life that much more.
I love that. Oh my
I know
God.
I said a lot, but That
It's delicious, and now you're making me want brownies just to be satisfied. Oh my god.
yes, that's what I'm
Like,
telling.
I see myself sitting in my bed. Let me tell you, when you were talking about that, Tony, let me tell you what I saw. There's this new fragrance from Bath and Body Works, and it's like it's for like I guess for Valentine's Day, and it's like vanilla and lavender. I saw myself getting in the bath with that, then putting that same lotion on, and then sitting in the bed with some brownies and doing some work. That's what I saw in my head, and
Yeah,
that felt satisfying. That
yeah,
really did.
it's that. It
Wow.
is that.
I love it. So what do you eat that satisfies you? Is it just, a vegetable diet, or what are you eating that gives you that deep satisfaction?
So I will say, I was vegan for some years,
Okay.
and now I'm like pescatarian. I
Okay.
don't eat chicken, beef, or pork at all. That's like my
Okay.
non-negotiable.
Okay.
Um, so it's first knowing what
Mm,
my nose, like what I don't eat. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not. I don't do Skittles or anything like that.
mm,
However, that 2025 came, and I don't feel like being concerned about the don'ts, even though some
mm.
foods, like I just mentioned, are non-negotiables because I don't even like it. I mean,
Okay.
my taste for it. Now, if I had a taste for it and I wanted it, I would eat some chicken, but it's been out of my system for so long. It's
Okay.
just like I get sick even looking at it.
Okay.
And so, right now, I say since 2025 started, I don't deprive myself of anything that I want.
Really?
I decided that it even brings tears to my eyes. I
Hmm.
decided that I will no longer be concerned about, oh, don't eat this,
Really? Okay.
don't eat that,
Mm,
or eat too much of this. I'm so over it.
mm.
So I'm going to eat what I'm supposed to eat. I'm going to
Okay.
get my fruit. I'm going to get my veggies. I'm going to take my vitamins. But if I feel like I want to eat like breads and pastries and just that I'm going to do it.
Mhm.
I'm no longer interested in having a consciousness of deprivation. I'm not
Mm.
depriving myself of indulgence. I am healing generational trauma. I'm figuring out this new level of wisdom when it comes to financial literacy,
Mm.
creating a system for my business, moving my body.
Mm.
All of this is being in a new career that I never saw myself. It's so many things that I'm navigating in human, the uncertainty of this country, the politics that's around that, you
Yeah.
know, healing from capitalism and the effects of colonialism. A
It's a lot.
lot.
It's a
So
lot. Yes.
you say, what do I want to take off my life for the rest of the year?
Ooh.
That off.
Make
I'm going to eat whatever I want. I told my mom that I'm eating whatever I want, but guess what
really?
I do? Now I will
Mm,
say that I have started listening to um she has a book. I forgot her name, but it's a podcast. I
mhm,
mean, she has it audio. It's on audio too. But the
okay.
book is called Fast Like a Girl. And it's pretty
Mm,
much incorporating fasting a part of your lifestyle. So if I ate cookies, first of all, if I ate pancakes with whipped cream,
mm,
strawberries, and all that stuff in the morning, which is heavy carbs,
okay.
which is sugar and sweet and all of that.
Mhm.
And I eat cookies, chocolate chip cookies for lunch, and then had some potato chips, and I had pasta for
Okay.
dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The next day, I'm fasting. Or the next day, I'm fasting. I'm doing intermediate fasting from 12 to 8. And I'm
Okay.
drinking lymphatic tea or digestive tea
Mm,
for the next 3 days. It's like
okay.
supporting my body, even in my releasing of that depriving of myself. It's like
Really?
concerned and intentional with the do's rather than the don'ts.
That is making sense.
So
I've never heard of that, Tony. That makes so much sense.
it's a reframe. It's such a reframe,
Yes.
and it's empowering. So it's like, but I make sure I get my greens,
Okay.
my fruits.
Mhm.
I'm really loving mangoes and papayas right now.
Okay.
I would be into watermelon right now, but it's not in season. So when I do get it, it's not hitting like the ones, in the season.
Exactly.
I'm really liking tomatoes and
Mhm.
cucumbers with mint and basil and
Okay.
salt. I'm big in the kitchen,
I
okay?
see
I'm
that.
cooking
The
real
chef
the
is in the
other day
kitchen.
the other day, I put rosemary in my pancake mix.
Really? How was that?
Girl, when I tell you it was tea, like, basically and it's not rosemary seasoning, it's fresh herbs.
Really?
Herb section and get you some organic rosemary, put it in the pancakes, baby. It's
Really? Let it cook. Oh my goodness. I
yeah,
would have never thought of that. Oh, I'm gonna have to try that, Tony. I'm gonna do fast. I'm fast like a girl. That
fast
makes oh my God, that makes so much sense. So tell me, Tony, is there a particular story or a particular like success situation that you heard from one of your audience members, right? One of your fans that has truly inspired you and like keeps you motivated, keeps you going?
oh man. That's it's I mean, I would you go to my comments on YouTube and Instagram.
Really?
Just those a therapist told me to do that back in 2022. She said,
Okay.
anytime you feeling discouraged, anytime you feeling any kind of way, go look at your comments.
Mm.
It's comments and testimonials that I've heard over the years, from men and women, people telling me you saved their marriage, I saved their marriage. This music saved their marriage. And moms that said they lost their children and was on drugs and they quit drugs the day that they, heard my music and they were able to get their children back. Like it's just so
Mm.
many different things. People have manifested jobs from this music. And I
Mm.
would like to emphasize that it is the medicine of the music is potent because of who I am when no one's watching.
Really?
But the power of
Mhm.
that medicine is because of the way we're designed. What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
What I mean by that is that the brain it masters repetition. It
Okay.
needs like the neuroscience of how the brain works. It has to have repetition in order for it to influence behavior.
Okay.
Hence why we have billion-dollar companies, billion-dollar public figures constantly putting their messages in front of us. Because
Okay.
people just do it and go and say, "Oh yeah, I made it." They
Okay.
have to continue to market and advertise to us for it to influence our purchasing habits, our
Okay.
buy-in into their messages. This is like marketing, advertising, psychology 101.
I love it. Teach us, Tony. Teach
When
us.
it when it comes to self-love and
Mhm.
caring for yourself and telling yourself these new ideas and affirming yourself in positive ways, you
Mhm.
have to have that on repetition. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying? But it has to be sexy, it has to be
Mm.
fly, it has to be something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoys music.
Yeah.
So, if you're if you wanna feel sexy, you put on sexy music. If you
Okay.
wanna be crunk and you wanna be in your ego or your pride, you put on
Exactly.
a buck, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What it is.
Mm.
Put on affirmation music. You're putting on affirming, healing music, and you're immediately
Yeah.
tapping into that vibe. And we repeat that over and over and over. You're shifting your neurology to be centered
Mm.
around how you feel about yourself,
Wow.
what you say about yourself, and that is what changes their lives. So I'm
Mm.
not trying to invalidate the power of what I do, but the medicine is because of who I am. It's medicine because of who I'm being with myself when no one's watching. But the
Wow.
power of it is because the way we are designed on our nervous system, on a neurological. So when you tone that music on, it goes straight to your mood. It goes straight to your feeling. It goes straight. You're saying these words that are I am statements. I,
Yeah.
me, you're changing your language. You're changing your neurology. And it's so much scholarly
Mm.
data, research, and articles that talk about the relationship between music and your nervous system regulation, music and the brain, music and the body. It's music has ancient legacy,
Mhm.
of medicinal legacy. That is what
Wow.
music has been always known for in ancient times, to have a medicinal aspect to it. So yeah, so the testimonials are just prove the science for real.
Wow.
And that is what inspires me, because I believe I I I'm disenchanted the
Mm.
what the state of humanity and the state of our world, and
Wow.
feel like if we can get to the root of our wound,
Mm.
which is how we talk to ourselves, then
Yes.
we improve our relationship with ourselves,
That's
then
it.
we improve our relationship with others. We
Yeah.
know who knows how to communicate with us, because we're the way we communicate with ourselves. And
Okay.
then the relationship dynamics change. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
It's
I see what you're saying. Oh my God.
a domino effect. So it's like, for me, I'm like, I'm giving myself the opportunity to live in the world that I believe I deserve to live in.
I love that, Tony. Oh my, because you're making the world a better place because that's the world you want to live in through your music.
Absolutely.
Girl, I love that. Oh my God. So, Tony, I got to tell you a story. I just realized, like, when you were speaking, right, it all makes sense. Because let me tell you, when I coach my clients, like they're talking, I'm a career coach, but most of them I'm listening for more, right? I said, I probably should be a life coach because I like to talk about life. But I really believe that you can't get your career straight unless your life is straight, right?
Hmm.
So I tell them, I said, you need to write 10 I am statements. You need to record it, do a voice memo, right, where you record it. I said, I used to do that all the time and put music to it. And this is the part you're gonna like, Tony. And I said, just I'm asking the question, just talking. I said, have you heard about Toni Jones? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, you need to listen to Toni Jones. And then I prompt Tony, if I could show you the spreadsheet, it is on the spreadsheet. And most of the women have that on the spreadsheet. Listen to Toni Jones, write your 10 affirmations, and not I am wonderful, I am powerful. I said, no, we got to go deeper. We got to go so much more within because there's so many women, Tony, that don't know how great they are, that
Mm,
don't know how worthy they are. And for me, what makes me really sad is that they allowed the world to beat them down. Like that's the story of so many women.
mhm.
So how are you going to how do you feel like you're going to contribute to that change in the future? Where do
Uh,
you see that going?
what change?
The
What?
change to make women better, right? To make women whole and free of to be who they really are.
Well, I think that I can only speak from what has helped me.
Okay.
And that is
Mm.
that is to stay curious,
Okay.
even in the crisis, even in the tragedy, even in the confusion, the betrayal, the just your darkest moments,
Okay.
even in your blessed moments, stay curious.
So curious.
There's uh, a story I want to share with you guys. It's an Asian parable. It's not that long.
Okay.
So basically, the story goes: there's a farmer who has a son, and they live on a farm, and they have one horse.
Hmm.
But one day, the horse ran away. The
Hmm.
people of the town went to the farmer and said, "Oh my God, this is how you were making money. This is how you and your son were sustaining your life. And now the horse has ran away. Now, how are you going to do?" The farmer says, "Who knows what's good? Who knows what's good or bad?" So
Mm.
the horse comes back like some weeks later with a whole herd of horses, and the farmer and the son brings them into the barn. And then the people of town said, "Oh my God, your horse came back and brought a whole bunch of horses. Now you can make more money. Da 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 da. This is so great." The farmer says, "Who knows what's good or bad?" So
Mm.
one day his son was riding one of the horses and fell and broke his leg. Then the people of the town said, "Oh my God, your son broke his leg. What are you going to do? Who's going to help you with the farm? This is so horrible. This is so bad." The farmer responds, "Who knows what's good or bad?"
Mm.
So then the village or town, country, whatever, went to war, and so the army was enlisting at the males in town, and
Mhm.
so the young males in town. So the army came to the farmer's door and said, "Hey, we have to enlist your son into this war." And when they saw his leg was broken, he couldn't enter into that war. So the
Mm.
people in town was like, "Oh my God, your son doesn't have to go to the war, and this is such good news." That And the farmer says, "Who knows what's good or bad?" And the whole
Mhm.
wisdom of the story is you can be on the high of your
Mhm.
successes and achievements, and you have no idea what is behind door number five with that, and being able to say who knows what's good or bad, it loosens your attachment for things to change, for to have a certain outcome, to judge the good, to judge the bad. It's like, hey, I don't know what is what, but what I am here is here to see how it all unfolds, that this is all a journey. I don't have to be attached when good happens because you never know what good, when those herd of horses came, thought
Mhm.
this, the town, people of the town thought it was wonderful, but no one knew that his son was going to break this leg. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But when his son broke his leg, the army came, like the way the dance of life happens,
Mm.
never know. So I encourage women
Okay.
to learn the type of self-mastery that helps you loosen your attachment to judging life, whether
Okay.
it's good or bad, whether enjoy it, feel it, but loosen our attachment to it. And then I will also say therapy. Have
Therapy.
a
Okay.
therapist.
Really?
Therapist, I encourage everyone to have a therapist. We have so
Really?
much deep-rooted trauma, that type that mastery of yourself to loosen your attachment to what I was just talking about.
Okay.
You can't even get to that if you're not getting through the trauma that is coding, you know what I'm saying? Your truest self, your highest self. And
Okay.
so I feel like a therapist, I believe a therapist is skilled and trained to hold space for trauma. So it's important
Mm.
to be able to find and don't just get a therapist. Shop
Okay.
around for a therapist, just like you don't just go to a hairstylist,
Yeah.
go to a nail tech. You shop
Mm.
around and see who's who, and you know what I'm saying. So I encourage women, modern day women, to have a therapist so
Yeah.
they, go through this journey that is always teaching us to be detached from these things in life that imprison us
Mm.
to the past, if you will.
Oh, that is deep, Tony. And I think a lot of us don't understand the value in therapy, and how it can really transform who we are as people. So what do you say to those people that are in therapy and they say it may not be working? What would you say to those type of women that are in that situation?
That are in therapy and it's not working.
Hmm.
Well, let me think. Well, when I was in therapy and it wasn't working, I found a new therapist.
Just that simple.
Yeah, like what do you do when the hairstylist is not
Okay.
is you know
Fine.
what I'm saying? It goes up on their prices and or
Mm.
they didn't do your hair right or they had a you find a new hairstylist.
Wow, okay. That makes sense. That's simple and easy right there. So,
Right?
I like that. I like that. Oh, wow. Oh, Juanita. Hey, Juanita. Juanita says therapy is a must. Trauma rewires our brains. And
Absolutely. It
oh
does.
my God, that is so true, Juanita. And yeah, so and you know what? And I always like to tell people that there's a number called 988. Have you ever heard of that, Tony?
Mm-mm.
988. It operates just like 911, but it's called 988 and it's national, and it's international as well. And you call 988 24/7, 365, and it's a warm line. You could talk to someone any time of the night or day and just talk to them about your problem, like so you can release that so you don't have to keep that bottled up. And it's helped us so many people because mental health is an issue.
988.
988. And you could chat it as well. So there's a chat and a call line. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and it's through the Department of Public Health and Vibrant, and they're doing amazing, amazing work, really trying to help and cure mental health in so many ways.
Okay.
So speaking of healing, right? Because my favorite song is Healing in My Heels. What is your favorite song from your collection?
Girl, that's like asking me who's my favorite child.
I know it's hard, right? It's hard. It's a hard one. But you can be honest. We won't tell the other songs. I promise. We won't tell the others.
Uh I honestly don't know, because
Really?
I honestly do not know. That is a hard that is a hard one. Because as soon as I think of one, I'm like, no, because
Okay, you can pick 2.
I will say I won't I can't say songs. I just can't. But what
Okay.
I will say is albums. My favorite album is "Icy Me Mantras."
Did I have that one? I See Me Mantras. Let me see.
I
Why that one? Why that album?
"Icy Me Mantras" because I had it's just the way that I approached that album, it
Mm,
was like I poured my entire being into that album.
really?
I mean, I have 8-minute songs on that album, like, those are long ass songs, like,
Really?
so it was like, I I didn't have anyone telling me, "Oh, this or that," like, it was just
Mm,
pure creation, and I See Mantras, it was like that captured my rebirth of how
really?
birthing myself in 2020, coming
Okay.
out of a crisis in 2019. So I would
Mm,
say I was able to cover the ways I want to talk to myself about money, about intimacy, about relationships, about sisterhood, about my relationship with social media. That
mm,
things I've always known, like, and being able to translate that in comprehensive ways and turn them into affirmations
mm,
for modern day people, women. It was just like it was just a beautiful. I mean, I remember when the album was done,
really?
and now my ear is different, so I hear things now where I'm like, "Oh, sounds horrible. Oh, it should be the
But
tones are off." And but I remember when the album was done, I listened to the whole thing in my car, and I was punching my steering wheel, crying because I was it's so much joy because
really?
like this is when my life will change.
Mm,
I just knew it. I was like, my life will never be the same again.
really?
And I had no clue what I was embarking on.
Mm.
I knew that a new chapter, and it did.
Mm. Oh my gosh, Tony. That is beautiful. So how do we get your music like on the radio where it's played constantly, like in the rotation? What can we do to do that?
I think it's all about relationships at the end of the day.
Okay.
It's about knowing your relationships. And then
Mm,
it's also social media. Start
okay.
tagging Charlemagne the God on Breakfast Club.
Okay. Okay.
Tag him like listen to Toni Jones music.
Okay.
Who are
Mm,
these media people that are out here? Just
okay.
have a group of y'all just say, okay, we about to tag this Tony's name under their page at this time.
Okay.
Let's go. You
I
know what
love it.
or tag their name under a post.
Okay.
Y'all need to know her. Like this is the way my career has been thriving. It's been
Okay.
based off the word of mouth of women who has been
Okay.
impacted by my music. Like for me to be on the Shy, my song "Take Up Spaces" is on the Shy on Showtime. It was
Mm,
one of the episodes from one of the seasons in 2022, and for me to be in Forbes and Essence,
yeah.
all booked all over the country, like getting bookings from all over the country without any like real marketing strategy, without a manager, without a PR publicist. All of this happened because of the women were like,
Mm,
we wanted to make
mm,
sure this music gets out into the world. So
oh,
I always say that, you know,
okay.
email my manager and I to say, what do y'all need? What are y'all working on? You know,
Okay.
and like how can we connect Tony to, just things like that. I
Mm,
believe that that is
okay.
the way. I feel like that has been the consistent trend
Okay.
how my music has gone into the world. It's
Mm.
about women just saying, hey, y'all need to know her.
You need to know Tony, that is so beautiful. Oh my god. So after we talk, right, I need to figure out how to get you on my Instagram stories because I can't figure it out and I've been trying, trust me. So I
Okay.
want to post you on a few things. So yeah, I'm going to figure that out cuz I can't figure that out. So I can only get the music they suggest or have. But yeah,
Interesting.
maybe it's just me because everyone says the same thing. Like
Yeah,
it's just there.
it could be something. You probably have to go into your you have to scroll on to it in Instagram in your settings and go to account and see if
Okay.
they notified you about anything that is compromised on your account, because
Oh,
that's usually what happens, or why you can't operate in certain standard functions on social media.
awesome. Well, ladies, you have heard the call. Make sure you tag everyone and tell them to listen to Toni Jones music. So, Toni, tell me, what are you working on now? I know we talked backstage that you have a membership. Can you tell us about your membership and what it entails and who it's for?
Yeah, so affirmation is for the multidimensional woman.
Okay.
The woman who knows that she's more than just a woman. She's more than just a mom. She's more than someone with talents or with business goals or works this job. She knows she has big energy.
Big.
And because of that, she has listened to my music in her life, and that in her life, and that music has supported her and guided her in owning that big energy that cannot be labeled, her spirit, who she
Mm,
is at on the source level.
wow.
And so affirmation, it has all of these women in this space, and we do affirmation meditations
Mm,
every month, once a month. We do journal prompts every week, where it's group journaling, where it builds that muscle of being open and vulnerable on
okay.
a spiritual level, on a human level, on a woman level.
Okay.
We also do field trips. Um,
Mm,
I started that the last quarter of last year. We went to go see Abraham Hicks in Atlanta. We do nature field trips, and I'm going to be doing more field trips this year that will be creative and unique and just engaging, because I like to center the culture of my community, of
mm,
my membership, around fun. It's like the healing it has to be centered around fun and play when it
okay.
comes to Toni Jones and how she holds space for others.
I
And
love
so I love retreats. I love these sacred circles and these programs and things like that. But I think we're such an overly informed generation, and we
that.
need to get out of our heads when it comes to enjoying this life and trying to calculate it and
Mm,
and measure it and prescribe it. It's like, let's go have fun. That
mm,
gets you straight to the vibration of love. That gets you straight to the vibration of liberation. That gets you straight to the vibration of getting out of your head. You just have fun. That childlike
mm,
state. So that is one of my cultural values in this membership space. Um, and yeah, I have 2 tiers right now.
okay.
The den, this is
Mm,
the tier that's $9.99 to join, and then I have our living room, which is $24.99. And so, yeah, so there's gonna be so much more that unfolds in this space, but
mm,
ultimately, this is for the woman who knows she is more, she's talking to herself better, but she wants to take what she's been doing in her own journey and
mm.
integrate it into more community, because she's been doing the self-love and self-care, but now who are her people?
Who are her people?
Who can
Oh,
she connect with? You know what
oh,
I'm saying? I feel like a lot of us are still learning self-care, but a
mm,
lot of us have we've been working with that taking care of ourselves. But it is such a sweet spot when you're in community with people who are that much more devoted and committed and invested in their self-care and the way they talk to themselves.
mm,
It's because the gag is, what they didn't tell us is, when you doing therapy and you learning all these self-mastery tools and you
mm,
healing and stuff, that
mm.
stuff only works with other people who are doing the same.
Oh,
That's the twist.
are you serious?
Who only works with the people who are doing the same. If I speak Chinese, guess who gonna only understand me?
Only those that speak and understand Chinese. Tony, I never thought about that. I promise.
Exactly. And that is where we learn boundaries and so on. So affirmation is not just for you to be better, but it's a space for you to invest in your community care, in the culture of your connections.
What's the website, Tony? Can you spell it
Yeah,
out for
you can go to iamtonyjones.com. That's Tony with an I, and
me?
it'll have a tab that says join affirmation.
Okay, I'm TonyJones.com. I love that. Oh my goodness, that is deep. I'm getting it so we could put it up. Where it says, I see I'm limited on my thing. I got they putting limits on me, Tony, behind the scenes here. We're gonna shake off those limits. Oh wow. Tony, I never thought about that. I am ToniJones.com. Oh my goodness. Y'all get in her programs. That's phenomenal. And so you said your background is in what again? The
Psychology. I
really?
psychology, but that led me down just the whole human behavior world around
Ooh,
science, the nervous system, the biology of all the things concerning the body and how that is impacted by your mental health.
wow, Tony, you are teaching us. This is deep. Oh my goodness. So I know we're almost at an hour. Is there anything else that you would like the world to know, that you would like women to know, to just continue to help us heal?
You know, to help you
Mhm.
heal, I would say, okay, so to help you heal, I would say have more fun.
Okay.
Have more fun,
Mm,
really figure out what play looks like for you,
okay.
and what your non-negotiables are when it comes to your daily habits.
Mm,
I have 10 things I wanna do today, but one thing that I will do that is a non-negotiable, it could be drinking my tea slowly.
oh,
That could be a daily ritual. It's like being very mindful to be and bring gratitude into your tea. In the
mm,
Asian cultures, tea is very meditative,
yeah.
so I would just definitely say, get involved, get curious
Mm,
around what it looks like for you to live a fun life and
mm,
play again.
oh,
Secondly, that one thing I want to leave with everyone is, once again, I can't do this on my own. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? I'm sure we all have been impacted by people in ways that hurt us on a levels we didn't even know we could experience pain.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? Affirmation music, it opens up a world that there are people out here that are invested to transcend their nature, transcend their trauma, transcend their fears, to be able to be love and engage with others. You see what I'm saying? So in order for us to, if that matters to us, to
mm,
experience a truer culture with each other, a
mm,
more loving reality with others. Affirmation music is one of the tools to create more possibility and potential for us,
mm.
because if we can get people to just push play, they're immediately enrolled in talking to themselves better if they're ready.
Oh,
So why am I saying all of that? I'm saying all that is because it is through us, it's through the word of mouth, it's through our connections, our relationships, where we amplify the vision and message of affirmation music. Maybe you're sharing the album. Maybe you know somebody at Calm app. Maybe you know somebody at the Breakfast Club, like who at Steve Harvey show. The list can go on. You never know who knows someone.
ooh,
So you know it's interesting in mainstream entertainment, whether it's conscious or not. The the brand of promoting someone is centered around the idolatry of the artist or the figure.
mm,
But it's not, when we're amplifying affirmation music, it's not about it being centered around Toni Jones, even though I'm a vessel for that. But
mm.
it's the message.
It's the message.
It's the message.
Mm,
And
mm,
you go to the comments on my YouTube, you go to the comments on my Instagram,
mm.
there's
That,
testimonials for days. So
yeah.
if any of us have been harmed by one another, if
Mm,
we've been impacted, we've lost our innocence, our
mm,
optimism, our trust, but you've been working on yourself and you want to find more people, you want to create more of a humanity that reflects the type of humanity that you want to experience,
mm.
amplify the message of affirmation music. Reach out. You guys go to my website, contact me. You guys know the relationships you have and the people that you know.
Oh,
Reach out, spread the word of and message of affirmation music. So that's my ask. That's my ask, and then the other piece is have more fun and play more for you to be, really invested in your healing.
Oh my God, Tony, I love that. But I would be remiss if I didn't show you some of these comments that we have going on here. And so we have Mario, and actually he and I were in the military together, and he said he loves your music.
Oh
And then
wow.
he also said that you got him out of a bad spot 2 years ago.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and
Energy budget.
oh my God, I know him personally. And man, that's awesome. Energy budget was the one for him, like you said. So,
Yes.
oh, what's up, Battle? She's the truth. He said, and he has validated so many things. Oh my goodness. Oh my, and it just goes on and on. Oh my goodness. So, and then of course I am said awesome. So Tony, you are loved by so many. You're helping so many wonderful people. And Juanita said, so which one is this? This
Will you do the work with me? A virtual circle I did um these past couple of Saturdays.
really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that community gathering was everything. Oh, Tony, you're creating a better world. You are. I had no idea that the theme for you was to create the world that you like to live in, and I think that is so powerful. And this gives, I know for me, it gives me hope that there's still goodness in the world, like you said, with everything going on and chaos here and there and everywhere, right? To know that there's good people that still want good things in the world
Yeah.
is so inspiring, especially from women, right? And from a black woman that wants like the same thing. That, and mind you, we're like on two different parts of the world, So, and I had no idea that the vibration and the energy was still in the same space. So
Yeah.
I think that is awesome. Um,
Thank you.
Mario says, listen to the album Me versus Every Me. Oh, tell me about that one, Tony.
Oh, that album was the last project I fully released
Really?
on streaming platforms back in 2021. And wow, that oh child. That I realized that album, what became real to me with that album was I realized that there was a pattern. Every time I release the album, I'm actually initiated into the album. So it's like I become
Mhm.
a student to my own message and music. And for me to practice to be the embodiment of everything I said in the album. So
Really?
I have to like that album was so deep. I mean, that's where you got Burning Alive, I Am Worthy, the forgiveness, I forgive, shadow dance, like it's so many songs in there. Money worships me, where each song was like a class I had to enroll into to embody everything I was saying. But me versus ever me, the intent behind that song was collecting all the versions of ourselves we love,
Mhm.
that are the ideal version of ourselves that we will be so proud of, that we want everybody to see and believe this is who we are, and we post this version on Instagram. But then
Mhm.
it's also bringing all the versions we hate, all the versions we that self-sabotage us, all the versions of ourselves we want to hide, and bring them all in the living room and say, okay, y'all, I gotta love all of y'all equally. That's what that album, and so the album is Me versus Ever Me, Affirmations of Self-Love. It's
Okay.
basically you bringing every version of you into this space so you can bring wholeness to each and every one of them by accepting all of them and
Oh,
then speaking affirmations of self-love into them. So
I
yeah,
because it's funny you said that, Tony, because I was working earlier, and the is money worships me, money worships me.
that's from that album.
Yeah. Oh my. So tell me, like, what does that mean? And I'm like, what does this mean? Like, what do you mean by that?
Money worships me is it's um it's like if money is on the floor,
Mm.
it's like it's nothing without me. So
Oh,
it's like it needs me for it to be of value.
okay.
But if it was $100 on the ground, $100 on in the garden just sitting there, it doesn't have any worth until I use it. So when I say
Mm,
money worship me is meaning that I am its source of value.
I love it.
I
Mm,
it's not it doesn't work the other way around.
oh, Tony, that's deep. Oh my goodness.
Government can print all the money it wants. The stores and all the things we want that you could buy can exist. But
Mm,
it needs the people to make it worth something and to use it for it to be any value.
mm.
If everybody just stopped using money, it wouldn't have any. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
it's
no,
like
that's real deep. I never, because everyone else like worships money, like, and you just switched the whole paradigm. Like that has shifted everything.
but
Oh
see
my.
here, but see, I'm an example of being a student to that. That
Mm,
song is something I needed to say to myself that I still need to say to myself to remind me that that is the truth.
wow.
Because we live in a world where stuff we I live in a country where stuff is costing
Too much. Too much.
costing, and
Too much.
I'm committed to being a full-time artist and having my personal autonomy of time. I'm committed to that. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? And so without the stressors of my livelihood, but
mm,
it's such a dance to integrate a song like Money Worships Me when
okay.
everyday reality is like you gotta pay these bills, you gotta do this,
Mm,
you gotta invest in it, like all the things. So it's a constant reminder to return back to my highest truth when it comes to my
mm.
finances.
Ooh, Tony, that so is that what grounds you in just staying where you are, right? And not trying to reach to go to this job or that job. Is that what keeps you grounded in your own entrepreneurship, I guess you could say?
I mean, just last month I was like, do I need to get a job? And
I couldn't
so,
see myself sitting next to Tony Jones. Like, oh my goodness.
yeah, and so what grounds me is trusting the process.
Really?
Regulating my nervous system when it's triggered by not knowing where money is going to come from or how long money is going to last. It's just like regulating myself into real knowing that I am sourced, I am
Oh,
supported, I am safe. So I am
mm,
definitely in my practice in
oh,
that, but it's I'm better than I was in 2019. I've
okay.
grown so much in my groundedness when it comes to my relationship with money and financial well-being. So I will say my creativity
Mm,
like helps as well. But I've tapped into my community. I mean,
okay.
I'll give you guys an example. The workshop, the virtual circle that I did,
Mhm.
do the will you do the work with me virtual circle? That was all about me asking for help. Not only socially, but financially. I was like, listen, I'm gonna make this $29 and it be accessible. And that was something that spirit gave me. I was just like, I don't know what else to do to generate income. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
I created that virtual circle and I said, "Hey, can y'all do the work with me? Because I have to do this work by myself. But I
Mm,
don't want to do it by myself. I want to do it with other people."
wow.
So that virtual circle was a space for us to do the work together and
Mm,
create community care visions and
oh,
hold space for our vulnerability and so on. So, and if I think about 100 people signed up for that, you know
wow.
what I'm saying? So it was like, and Stephanie Perry, she's a great example. She watched my YouTube live and she put me on her YouTube live the next morning and say,
Mm,
"Yo, let's get in this program. Let's support this girl." So tapping into your community goes back to what I said earlier, knowing when to ask for help. Like ask
mhm.
for help. This life is not meant to be done alone. We're supposed to have that village care in our lives, even though it's modern day society. Humans were never supposed to do life alone, or let alone this modern day life
Wow.
alone. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, Tony, they're blowing up the comments. So they are saying how deep you are. Oh my goodness. And they are loving this interview. Oh, Zane says, I'm relearning a relationship with money as we speak. Oh my
Gosh,
goodness. That and I never looked at it like that. Tony, like that is you don't understand, like it's in my head. Like I hear it in my head. And I was like, just I was getting tired, right? I'm like, I need a nap. I'm like, I am tired. I didn't feel like sending any emails. Like, I just wanted to shut down. I just really just wanted to run away. I'm like, I just want to run away somewhere. So and then I heard that, I was like, money worships me. Money worships me. I'm like, money worships me. I'm like, okay. I don't understand what that means, but I'm like, it's sounding good right now. So I love that, Tony. Oh my goodness. So
And
thank
listen to the lyrics and write them down.
oh, I never
Yeah, write them down. Just if you
never
have space and time, just listen to the lyrics and write them down. I don't release my lyrics, um, because of that reason. I want people to actually sit and write it down, listen to what is happening
oh
with the words. Because when you write it down, it's a whole experience to
wow.
actually see the words and then recite them, you know?
I never thought about right. That is a good journaling exercise. Oh my gosh. Oh, Mario says inner size. That is so true. Instead of exercise, inner size. Oh my God. Well, Tony, I never asked you how long you can stay. I know I've held you over an hour, but I want to say thank you, Tony. You are amazing. You are everything your music is. Like you are the life, and I just appreciate you. Like I said, and I really mean what I said. Like you help me stay grounded. Your music helps me stay motivated. And I never considered myself a data person and knowing my numbers. But I remember I was trying to figure out some things. I call myself being a big girl, and I was my whole
Yeah.
platform right. And it was messing up, right? But I said no. Tony said, you know your numbers. You like you know your business. Okay, I'm like okay. I know my numbers. I know my business.
Or remember I said, or I find someone
Or that does.
that does.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, now I'm gonna find somebody that does. I'm gonna bless somebody with that. Oh my God, Tony, you have no idea of the impact you're leaving in the world and the legacy that will carry on because of you. And I just thank you so much for being you. And I'll keep you encouraged. And I want to put up again before we go. Y'all check her out. I am ToniJones.com. Get in her membership, get in her circle, get in her community. Let's support this queen because she supports and gives so much to the world. So Tony, I thank you for being on the show. Thank you for saying yes. um it's been a true honor. And when I got back the email and said yes, I'm like, yes, like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. So I
Thank
just want to say thank you. Now I'm a fangirl. So
thank you.
thank
I
you
appreciate
so
that.
much. Oh my God. Well, blessings to you, Tony. Audience, it's been a great time. Thank you for being here. Con- Continue to shower Miss Toni Jones with love and continue to put more stuff in the comments. And please make sure you get in her membership tonight. Go to iamtonyjones.com. That's Tony with an I. And make sure you support her and show the love. And like she said, tag everybody you know, tag every celebrity, Charlemagne the God, Steve Harvey, all of them, to get even more eyes on her platform because
Thank
the
you so much.
world needs to change. And she's a woman that is making the changes for us. So let's do that for her. But audience, we love you. You guys be blessed and take care. Once again, Tony, thank you
You're
for blessing
welcome.
us with your presence and with your gift of affirmations.
Thank
All right,
you.
audience, we'll see you later. Bye for now.